there, you know, it was duplicate.
So,
Okay. Hey, Tim. Happy New Year. Okay, let's please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Okay. First order of business is to reappoint James Bauer to the Board of Assessment Review, effective now. So, someone care to make that
I'll make that motion.
a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this is Maxine's, and I guess my only question, what is the difference between this one and the one that Leslie did?
Well, I didn't see the one Leslie did till after I'd already done this.
Okay,
And here's what I'm trying to accomplish. If any one of us, and I think that's what Leslie was after, because I saw it after, I just looked at it again. If any one of us, for some reason, is unavailable to attend a meeting because they're at home sick, or they're out of town for one day or a couple of days on business, occasionally, once in a blue moon, it's not meant to be, 6 weeks or
Right.
12 weeks in a row. You should be able to conduct the meeting and still have that member participate, which is not atypical in many contexts. So, if Joe had to go to a family thing, or you had to go somewhere, but you still wanted to participate, that's a way of doing it. That's all I'm trying to
yeah.
accomplish.
Well, we've always done that.
So,
Can't vote, though. You can't vote.
No, you should be able to vote. You're participating as a
I
voting
don't
member.
think so.
Uh,
At least according to town law,
Well,
unless they changed it.
did we change that so, like, you weren't allowed to vote? Didn't we
I
change
think it's
that?
just town law. I don't think
Right.
it's just us.
I think what happened,
Like New York State, like, okay, the Zoom that Governor Hochul extended to, I think it's July of 2026.
yeah.
The legislation allows for members to participate via Zoom, via video, but you have to have a quorum
In the room.
in the room.
In the room, absolutely.
Like, if you don't have a quorum in the room,
That person,
that person cannot make up the
Exactly.
quorum.
but they can vote. So if the four, let's use me as an example, because I know I'm traveling next month. So if the four of you were sitting here and I participated from where I'm going to be in Florida on my iPad, let's say, I could vote, but I cannot be the person to constitute the quorum. You must have a quorum present.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Right. So how do
Is
you
that
want
true?
that?
Yeah, that is true.
That is, it's very true.
Okay.
So my concern is this has broader implication than just the town board. It would also, in reading it, when I read it yesterday, it also looks like it would affect the ZBA, the planning board, the CAC, and all those committees. And so I don't know that we have the infrastructure or the ability to put that on those other boards at this time.
You can defer that to a point where they make their own decisions, but the truth is, if you're already recording their meetings, I mean, the CAC met, what was it, whatever the date was, I'll tell you in a second, but the CAC met, and then when I was looking at the video, they had somebody participating on a laptop. There was someone already I don't know who it was, because I couldn't hear it, but, actually I was doing two things at once. But there was somebody participating via a laptop. I think it was Howard.
I think it was Howard.
I think it was Howard.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, see, and that's exactly what you want. If somebody, for example, if somebody had hip surgery, you don't want to make them come in. You want them to be able to participate and let them be an active board member. You also don't want this to be something somebody does for 6, 12, or 15 weeks in a row. So if somebody were taking a job out of town for a long stretch, you don't want to do that either. Then they have to step down.
Right.
But the occasional event
Right.
can happen, and that's why I also wrote in a limitation on a number of times a year, which, to be honest, I've gotten that same thing from the insurance regulators, say the same thing. The New York says the same thing from insurance regulators. The directors on the board have to participate at least 50% of meetings. I was not that generous when I drafted it.
So what is this, I'm sorry, Susan,
Yeah, no, I mean, and Maxine and I had talked about this a bit, but I have a number of concerns about what the status is of our law regarding video conferencing, and I'm not sure if our
That-
town attorney has weighed in, but this is what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong. In 2003, the town board adopted a law that permitted, pursuant to having the authority under state law, to allow video conferencing. And they also had to, as part of this law, they adopted video conferencing procedures that address some of the issues that you had regarding what constitutes extraordinary circumstances. So, and then what happened was last June, I guess, the board terminated Zoom, the Zoom account. Now, whether that can, I believe, I would defer to the town attorney
So-
on this, whether that action to terminate the Zoom account terminated video conferencing. And when video, and my understanding, and again, I would defer to the town attorney, is that once video conferencing was terminated, it was not terminated just for the public, but it was also terminated for members of all the boards. I mean, is that your understanding? So if that's the case, then I don't know that this kind of participation can happen.
Did they, see, I tried searching Zoom and I wasn't finding it fast enough, obviously. But if they terminated, they didn't repeal the law, so the law is still on the books. But if they, and you terminated.
But I
the
think, I think, if I'm not wrong, I think that there's something, and I couldn't find it today because I was just looking quickly, that law, that the video conferencing could be terminated by resolution. And I think that,
You could,
Kyle, that you did weigh in on that when they did it. So, so if in fact it was done correctly, then that means that nobody can participate.
let me challenge
Remotely.
that for a second. You can't repeal a law, but you can in fact say you are no longer adopting the process that I assume was adopted as part of implementing the law. So you have a town law that has not been taken off the books, am I correct, Kyle? It's still on the books?
Still on the books.
Okay. The difference is that the board can either repeal the policy or revoke the policy or modify the policy that they adopted implementing the law.
It's my
Is that-
understanding.
So
no,
here's
it's-
the thing.
yeah,
Okay,
here's
so
the
I'm
thing.
trying to
So here's the thing. So the town has the law allowing them, which is the first step in allowing them to do the, oh, thank you.
You're turning it down, aren't you? Please.
That they've got the law that allows them to do the video conferencing or appearing virtually under 103A. But I don't know if the town ever adopted policies and procedures to
They-
implement
they did.
that statute.
They
And-
did,
and-
yeah,
okay.
in 2003.
Then so that has to go subsequent to those policy and procedures have to be available on the town's website.
They are.
Okay, that's great, because I looked, I can't find
You
it.
know what? It's in
But-
the minutes.
She
That's
loves
why.
doing this.
Okay, but I'm not surprised to hear that, because my dexterity with websites apparently isn't all that good sometimes. I often can't find it, so I couldn't find this. All right. So having said that, so if the policy and the procedures are still on there, the town, however, through its however it wants to process, is not required to, even though it has the law out there on the books, it's not required to maintain
Exactly.
that ability
Sure.
going forward. So the question on the floor is whether or not the town wants to continue, go back to making this video conferencing available. And if they do, the law's already there. I didn't, because I couldn't find the policies and the procedures. I don't know if the resolution you prepared is duplicative of some of that stuff.
It is.
It should be,
So
because
then all of that's there. So it's entirely just a town board decision as to whether they want to reinvest in Zoom and whatever
wait,
necessary to do.
But let me qualify that. I am not proposing they re-implement the entire video conferencing policy, which would be opening it up. I would like to, but I wasn't proposing that in this resolution. Because that means you have to have a place where people can attend, or anybody can attend. You've got to publish, a link so that anybody can attend via Zoom or whatever you want to use. Teams could be, whatever it is. And that would be a nice idea, but that is not what this resolution is. This is simply a piece of the allowing any one of us, whether it's members of the board, members of the CAC, and you can limit it to just the board. I'm fine with that, but it doesn't make sense to me, to attend remotely on random occasions. And that's all this resolution does.
See,
And the reason,
mine- no, no, no,
wait,
but
wait.
mine-
We had a conversation about this, I understand. And there are two parts, as I read 103A, and everything I've looked where other towns have implemented. There's one part that's really about getting the public to engage and participate, and letting people, instead of showing up, this is all COVID driven, of course, people could show up, or attend without having to physically be there during COVID. The second part deals specifically and only about members coming remotely, which is a different piece of the story.
See, I think, and I could be wrong.
But I defer to
But
somebody who
I
does
think
this
that
every
it's
day.
either or. I mean, it's either the members and the public get to participate remotely, or nobody does.
That's not how I read it, and not what I
I don't
saw.
know. Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, you have,
What
yeah,
do you think?
if the way if you're going to allow for the participation, it's expected, and this is the intention of the law, is to allow that the public to also be present virtually to participate in some way, shape, or form. So it's really a decision that the board has to make as to whether or not to re-engage with the Teams or the Zoom, and on a regular basis allow the town to it doesn't have to be, and most towns don't do that. Most towns do not have live meetings that permit public participation. They don't do it. None of the towns that I represent have public participation in live meetings virtually. And I can't think of any town at this point, as I sit here today, that is still allowing members or has members, allows members to appear virtually at this point. I'm not saying you can't do it, because you can under the law, but it's just not something that's continued as a practice.
That may be, that part I would not know. What I did note was that there was a distinction in the treatment where if a member is participating remotely versus if you're having, quote, let's just talk at a public video conferencing, teleconferencing meeting. Because if you're having a public meeting and a members are participating remotely, you also theoretically there was all sorts of notice and you have to do all sorts of things, and which is different than if only a member is participating remotely. There are some different criteria. So anyway,
Let me just suggest,
we can defer this and
I
go
was
do
just,
more
I was
research.
just gonna say, I know that you have an issue about next month. And
Right.
you'd like it, and so, I don't know, you had some thoughts on that.
Well, so to me, I did some research. I couldn't find any other town in Dutchess County that is doing Zoom teleconferencing still. A lot of them are
Oh,
doing.
that I don't know.
I did a lot of research before this. And a lot of them are recording and streaming. You can watch them,
Streaming.
Right.
but they're not
Encouraged.
interactive.
Right.
And it feels to me that this is a one-off. You're going to miss a meeting. I personally, rather than go down this route of resolution, I would rather work collaboratively as a board and find a time that we can all meet. And I understand that it's been the meetings are published, but you can also change dates. That's done often. Rather than set a policy for one-offs, I would rather we work together and we find a date that we can all be together and do it and have a meeting.
I'm fine with that as a solution for next month, because I'd hate to miss it. But I do think that it is a circumstance where if you have somebody, for whatever reason, as a hip surgery would be a perfect example, we're not going to have somebody traipsing around in the snow.
I understand. We only meet right now. We meet once a month.
Right. No,
I'm
I
committed
get it.
to being
I
here
get it.
once a month. If I'm on vacation, I won't be able to vote. If it's an important meeting that I think that my vote was going to be very important. I will cancel vacation and I'll make sure I'm here. So for me, it's not an important thing, and I think this is, I'd rather deal with the one-offs and
Okay.
pick dates, personally.
Is it possible?
So-
What do you guys think of that?
So I agree with Deirdre. I also disagree with Deirdre. I don't feel the need to have the meetings changed if one person is not going to be here and we still have a quorum. And if we still are supposed to have a quorum present and then someone is on video, okay, that's fine, but it's not necessary. The Zoom has been very problematic with ZBA and the planning board. It hasn't been working.
Oh.
And sometimes when members who are, whether they're a part of the appeal or part of the application, feel that they can be on Zoom,
Right.
and then there's a problem, the meeting gets postponed. Do you see what I mean?
Oh,
So
I totally
it's
get it.
been problematic all the way. So the video, the way we do it, we video it. People can look at it.
Right.
If they have questions or concerns, they can come to the next meeting. And that's just the way, and it's been working fine for that.
And what about for the board meetings? Did you ever have problems at the board level?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we
yes.
have.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't
Do,
get it. Why
do you not?
I hate Zoom
Hello,
personally.
like
I like
Middale,
I like
Middale
Teams
was
much better.
disastrous with trying to be on Zoom. It was disastrous.
I'm telling you, I hate Zoom.
Yeah.
All right,
Don't
so,
blame
No,
me.
I
Me
like
too.
Teams. I don't like
Right.
Zoom. I hate
So-
Zoom.
Well,
So we have to vote on this resolution, or can we just,
No, we can defer. for
if
now.
no,
Yeah,
there's been
for
no
now.
motion made.
No.
So we don't even need
We can
to,
defer.
we don't even
Okay.
need to defer. There's been
Exactly.
there's been no motion made as far as I can tell.
Right, I agree.
and then we will get together at some point.
well, if it needs
There's
to
been no
come
motion and
back
no
up,
second,
then-
so.
Right.
So,
I still question the appropriateness. I mean, I think you're gonna have this problem time to time. We have a very old population, there are older population, who would like to be able to not just watch, but
So
also,
you-
this is for later discussion, I
you're
guess.
talking about public participation then? You're not just talking
That's
about...
not this resolution, that's
Okay.
a different issue,
Then,
yes.
uh,
I think, you have to hear what the people want as well, but, but it has to work. It's of no use, and I suppose Kyle can answer this, that you could provide that anybody testifying, because you can write anything you want up to a point, that people testifying, if you did open it up to the public, people testifying had to be present. They could not attend remotely.
Then what's the point of the one when we just stream it?
For the people who can't physically attend but want to listen.
Well, that's the way it is now. They can listen, they can...
They can.
They can listen now
Yes, they
to
can.
Yeah.
the live meeting.
They can listen to it on, is it live now that they can, or?
No.
it's-
That's
Okay,
what-
it's tomorrow, it'll be on tomorrow.
But that, in other words, they can't listen to us interacting today. in
Not
other
today.
words.
So
That's my
how,
point.
all right, but you would expect that they would be on the other end of that TV and maybe make a comment right
No,
now?
not
Then-
necessarily.
Then why is it any different than if they listen tomorrow and
It is-
and they
it
can?
probably-
Actually, the law is that if, to the extent practicable, that we should be live streaming. Not interactive, but we should be live
So
streaming.
the village live streams.
Mhm,
Most towns live stream.
mhm.
And I think that would satisfy the public desire.
All right, so live stream, even though they can't comment,
Mhm.
what's the point of that?
That's because what the law
Because
says.
there's.
I know it's the law, but I'm wondering what the point is.
The policy?
The point is, the intent of the statute is so people can see in real time precisely what the town is doing
Right.
and debating, and then, based upon that, whatever, that's the intention and theory of the statute, is to allow public transparency in real time.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Which,
so,
to your point, it doesn't make, seeing it today or tomorrow isn't going to make a whole lot of difference in the world, but it is the law, and I think it satisfies a desire for people in the community, particularly those who find it hard to get here.
right,
But that's a different,
Yeah.
okay,
you have a,
all right.
Just a quick thing it can be very different. I can think of 3 instances at a village board meeting where people watching it at home wanted to give input on something that was rather serious, and they came over quickly and were able to join in then. But they had to get up and come in. But
Okay.
the only reason they knew was because they were watching it live, and I can think of 3 times that happened.
So
Yeah.
just, and,
That's just,
Yeah,
but keep in mind, from my reading of 103A2, if you do go to permit the virtual attendance by the board members, I think the statute does require you have to allow members of the public to participate virtually as well.
It's interesting, because I didn't read, all the reading I didn't see that. I got a
Okay.
different reading out of that, from different analyses. But if that's not the desire, that's a different thing. I mean, so far, if I'm hearing this correctly, you don't want to do it where somebody can attend remotely, a member can attend remotely. Is that what I'm getting?
I think we gotta discuss it further.
Well,
actually.
right, but.
As of this moment, right now, for me, no. When I was on the school board, we had a member attend remotely at times, and he had to go to a public space.
That's a different, that's,
That's if you want a quorum. If you need that member
Oh,
to
okay,
create a
okay.
quorum,
Yeah.
that person has to be in a public space where the public can attend. I've never seen anybody accomplish that.
Right, it was very
Too much
wonky.
work.
Yeah.
He had to go to a library in Baltimore.
Yeah.
yeah, it's too much
Okay.
work. No, I wouldn't
Yeah.
propose
And then
that,
you
that's too
gotta,
much
and you gotta
work.
notice it.
Yes,
Yeah,
'Cause
yes.
exactly,
no, not to,
exactly.
you know, I've not seen a municipality accomplish that feat.
Well, although you don't see a reason to change the meeting, I would appreciate it, but if you don't want to and nobody else does, I'm not gonna beg and plead.
okay. Okay. All right, Joe, will you give us your report?
Sure. The gas tank has received certification from the DEC after about 40 days. Being, I was not allowed to hook up the electric to it. In fact, it's someone to actually use it, so we did not. Now we're waiting for the electrician to get there. So, but it is certified, it's okay to use. Snowstorm, 25th and 26th, 24 plus inches. As of Monday, we were still cleaning up. Pushing snow back, shelving, you'll see shelves on your roadways, so that the next few storms will have a place to go. To make it worse, we've had some issues getting salt delivered. I don't know if you've been watching the Coast Guard up and down the river
Yeah,
trying to break ice. That's how they get it. This is not mined here. It is mined, I believe it's actually from Africa. I believe it's Egypt, where this salt is coming from. So it has to come up the river in barges. So we've had some issues.
and that goes where, up to Albany area?
Yeah, it's right below Albany.
Yeah,
Right below. But, so we found, through the supplier that we have now, Eastern, they had an alternate site in Jersey and they shipped it up to us. And they will, if this thing doesn't, although the temperatures now are going down, and it probably should be a lot easier. I asked them what their contingency plan was for such an event. They say they didn't have an answer.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but, so the answer came about when we had 13 trucks show up in the yard yesterday. So
Really?
the shed is full.
Wow.
I don't have much else. We do have an issue. I have 7 angry men, not because of this, because our refrigerator broke. And so, yes, that incites anger at this department. I'm gonna purchase one. I think I have money in garage, possibly. Yeah, we'll try to get a good deal for some sales out there.
How big of a refrigerator do you need? And I ask that because I have one that you can have, you know.
So,
You donate.
it's pretty large.
Oh, it's a
as
large
you
one?
might think.
Okay, then forget it.
Yeah, but feel good about it.
Mhm.
The last 3 refrigerators, this one was donated, and the 2 before that came from the dump.
Oh, no.
So you haven't spent money in a long time.
No, but that's not, I was just gonna say, that
Yeah.
you can
So I'll
have it,
try to
but-
keep it about $700-800 bucks, but that's all I got.
Mhm.
Okay.
They dump it, they don't want yours.
Mine's basically new, but it was,
How big is it?
it's, I don't know how, like the cubic footage, I don't know. But it's like it's not, it's like just, you know.
Yeah, that's a, yeah.
Do you know
I
what I
know what
mean?
you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's one guy's lunch.
yeah, yeah. All right.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'm just curious, Joe, what are we paying for salt now?
$78.05, $78.
Oh, it went down then.
No, it went up. It went up from last year, it was 58.
I thought we were paying like 90
So did
something.
I.
No,
No.
that was when I first got, that was 10 years ago, but.
No, recently,
I went with
huh?
the county
That's what I
bid,
thought.
but I don't know that I'm gonna stay with the county bid, it's, I don't know. They actually were, there was, another Appalachia was $3 less than Eastern, not that that's a huge amount, but when you're buying as much as we're gonna buy this year, it becomes significant. And they turned it down saying that their SID tests, which is how much fines are in the salt, which is not a good thing, were higher for Appalachia, but my guys, when they go north, Appalachia's working out of the same shed that Eastern's working out
Hmm,
of. Same salt,
yeah.
so
So starting next week, we're going to mud season.
we are. We are.
That's problematic.
Huh?
Maybe.
Yeah, just a few more phone calls, some American emails, and
Yep. Okay,
so I return the phone calls.
yeah, no, I know you do. Yep. All right,
All right?
thanks, Joe. Anybody have any questions for Joe?
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Danielle, you have the floor.
Hi, everybody. I had my rec commission meeting last night. There were 3 commissioners in attendance, and our new board liaison, Deirdre, was there. And our topics were about programming with a focus on the county grant that we're looking at to come up with some good plans for that. We did have a community request from the Millbrook Fire Department. They would like to use the town park for an overnight camping excursion. This would be for team building. And so I wanted to see if they could have that request, if the board could.
Can we just add that it's usually, they usually take it in the autumn when the park is closed?
She did not give me a time frame yet. I asked her tonight. They usually do September. So if you want to say, as long as the swimming pool is closed.
But given today's ethics training, are we allowed to let them use that without the proper, like, say, fee? I mean, is that,
We've never taken fees
I-
from the fire department.
I know that, but
That's
I'm
not-
listening to what that was
I would
said
say it's a
today.
community group,
It is a community
So-
group, it's not a personal use.
right?
Yeah, okay,
Well, my asking is that they can actually use it for an overnight because it's never been done before.
yeah,
So, I would say that they can only use tents and
Mhm.
no campers, RVs, whatever, because
Mhm.
of our septic system.
mhm,
They, they would have to make sure that no vehicles are parking there, and that would be in the contract that, I'm ready to give to them once they give me a date.
mhm.
And who are you dealing with,
Kelly,
Kelly? So, were you able to get to somebody about the, remember Bob questioned the insurance for,
Yes, I was, but I have to ask somebody else.
is that something that Deidre can kill 2 birds with 1 stone?
Deirdre?
I'm sorry,
Danielle,
Danielle.
the D's, it's confusing.
Well, I
Can
think
she
we
ask-
we should ask, one of us,
Okay.
yeah,
I've asked multiple times,
one of us
And
should
what's the
ask.
problem?
and just no response.
All right, I'll,
Are you asking the chief?
What are you
to-
asking for?
we have property over near the landfill. There was a house there. We own the property, and we allow the fire department to
Train.
do training on the building.
Okay,
But we wanted,
insurance.
We have
Insurance.
to be on there
Listed as
listed,
Sure.
right, as their insurance.
additional insured.
they always give me a certificate of insurance every year, for the whole year.
We want to be listed as an additional insured, though,
You want
different
me
than
to
a
just call-
certificate of
That shouldn't be a
insurance.
the
problem.
chief,
Shouldn't be.
Sure,
I can do that.
yep,
Yeah, I'll call Dominic.
Okay.
All right.
probably also have to give you a defensive indemnity when you do the, so this way if anyone gets hurt or anything like that, they can't sue, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, as long as they want it after Labor Day, I would personally be fine with them
Mhm.
using it for an overnight, for team building.
Is that the time frame after Labor Day? Or you don't
Tell
know?
them if that's what you're, is by after Labor Day, could it be if the pool is closed sooner? than
You
that?
usually
Just
close
as long
like
as-
mid-August now, right?
as-
Yeah.
But if I have lifeguards that can stay longer, then,
Yeah.
you know, it all is determined by that.
Okay. But if it's closed, yes, I would agree to that.
Yeah.
But that would be up to you, you know,
Great.
yeah.
We're still in the basketball season, and we're at Dutchess Day, as you know. This game will be, this coming Saturday will be our 7th game of 10. We've had a couple of cancellations for practices because of a leak in Dutchess Day's gym, and we've had to cancel once for weather, but besides that, it seems like it's a really good season. Camp registration has been open for a while. So far in the first session, we have 23, second session we have 20, and the third session we have 27. Everybody panics as it gets closer, so these are just beginning numbers, so. Our toddler program, the registration was open for 2 days. It was completely filled, and now we have a waiting list of 8. Seniors, or adults over 60. We have a casino trip that is being offered on April 18th. The bus will pick them up here at 8:30 and bring them back by 6 p.m. The residents will pay $10 and the non-residents will pay $35. So far we have 20 residents. In April, we will open registrations for AquaTurf. That will be offered on July 14th. The fee is, again, residents $10, non-residents $60. In May, we will open up registration for the West Point Museum with sightseeing cruise. We will pick up from here at 7:30 and we'll be back by 4. The registration is $10 for residents, $60 for non-residents. Right
Danielle,
now,
excuse me, what's AquaTurf? Is that what you said?
yes, it's just a place to go. I forgot if it's in Pennsylvania or what.
Oh, it's an excursion of some sort.
Correct,
Oh,
yes.
okay. I was like, ooh, what are we getting that we don't
Weddings
have
are
now?
out there.
It's a water park of some sort, yeah, okay,
Well, not a water park, but it's a place where you can have weddings.
right.
Abby is having a few more people showing up for our adult center, which is great. She has created a crocheting class and mahjong class. Our MIG grant, now that there's money to spend, right, Lois? Which we get money paid back for, right, Lois? Matt's starting to order materials to make our renovation happen, so he's gonna be ordering materials to frame in the garage door and the other door. Both garage doors are getting replaced. In addition, we're developing plans for the bathroom and the kitchen that's gonna be in that space. We met with the Department of Health this week about the renovations. They thought everything looked great. Next, we're gonna be meeting with a company for cabinets. At the park and pool, Matt continues to work with engineer Michael DeRusso to find out a solution for the park needing chlorination system. So from our the water used to come in and get chlorinated over by the bathrooms, but the water was now changed over to going to the park building first, and then the water then goes down to the bathrooms. So in doing that, the water wasn't getting chlorinated into the park building, so the chlorination has to happen at the park building. So now he and an engineer are working on whether or not it has to be chlorinated or whether or not UV can be an option for that. So Michael's still working with the Department of Health, and hopefully we'll have an answer to that soon. Any questions so far?
Yeah.
The motor on the sander for the truck that Matt drives is broken, so he can push the snow, but he can't sand and salt. So we're waiting for the part on that, and Charlie will install it when he has an opportunity. Reimagine the Town Park. You will be receiving a report from that committee on recommendations for what to do next for the park, by about April or May. And that is it for me. Any questions?
No, thanks, Danielle.
And that's not here.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna skip around a little bit. Eric, do you have something you want to share with us? What? Go ahead. That's okay.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure.
It's been all of a month now,
Yeah?
and it's going well. It's the most significant thing I have to report is that I've been appointed the chair of the Public Safety Committee, which oversees the sheriff, the DA, fire, and most importantly for us, EMS. So, the cost of our private ambulance service here is one of the things that we all talked about.
Yep.
Out of control. And so this is my primary focus in my work. And there's a lot going on. I think that the fact that our costs have gotten to this level of crisis has caught people's attention, and make sure it's up in terms of their attention. There's also a state requirement of a plan to be delivered by each county, which is now, the deadline has been pushed back a little bit, but nonetheless, the county and our commissioner, Bill Beal, are really focusing on rethinking what we're doing. And we have a new player in Northwell, the hospital that recently bought Sharon and Virgin Duchess, that's very interested in working with us. So I met with Commissioner Beal at the first meeting that I had, and I explained to him the urgency of this matter, not just countywide, particularly the towns that I represent. And I asked him to appear before the committee, and that meeting will happen on March 5th. And I'm not trying to play gotcha with him, but I told him we're going to ask him very, very direct questions about how the supplemental plan is fared. The county spent $2 million last year and again this year for supplemental service. You've heard about these fly cars.
Mm-hmm.
According to the folks here in EMS and fire, I've spoken with Dom here at the firehouse, they don't really do an awful lot for us. Response times have improved across the county. So this is another $2 million going to the same Empress that we're paying
Sure.
$600,000 a year to. And
Right.
so it was a median, so is Pleasant Valley. So we've allowed a monopoly to be created here in the county, and we're just feeding it. And that money, is going to Empress, and it's going to the private equity firms that back Empress, and none of them is really coming back or staying in our community. The real heroes of this, who are volunteers, we could be investing in that. So I tell you this because the meeting is on March 5th at 5:30. And I've asked a number of people to attend and to ask the question, to just let the committee and the legislature know that this $600,000, we're going to be spending $1 million a year on EMS pretty soon if we don't start pushing back on this. So I've got some folks coming from Pleasant Valley, I've got some folks coming from Amelia, just to stand up and say this isn't going to work. So I invite everyone to come. It's Wednesday, it's March 5th at 5:30. And I'll like to
County Lodge at the building?
Yep, here down Market Street. So, I'm going to continue working on that. The other thing that I focused on is really building relationships with our state partners, Michelle Hinchy, our senator, and Dee Dee Barrett, our assemblywoman. I've met with both of them, actually meeting with Dee Dee again next week, about some of the issues we're dealing with here that seem to get clogged at the state level. Really pushing hard on Route 82. We've spent a lot of time on that as well. So I'm going to really try to keep that going. And then talk with them both about the issue on Franklin Avenue with the trucks. So if there's anything else, I'd love to hear from everyone on what other priorities. I know Peter is talking about some water infrastructure issues. I'd like to think that we can build relationships. I know we already have some, really strengthen our relationships, particularly in an election year, to really get them working for us. And I'd just like to say, Deirdre, congratulations, and I think we have a great opportunity to work together. You know more about the legislature than I do at this point, to the extent that we can work together on grants and other things. I think would be great for our town. So I really welcome that.
Thanks.
I had a thought and I just lost it now. I wanted to ask you a question about, I'll think about it for a minute.
About the EMS.
It's about the truck traffic through the village. Doesn't the village started something with
I
the
understand
state?
There's an agreement. A lot of the work.
They have, haven't they,
has already been
Tim?
done.
Yeah,
There's
so we did what we had to do. The village passed a resolution to make proof of a truck route. The town also passed the same resolution.
Yeah.
Right.
Submitted to the DOT, the Commissioner of DOT rejected it.
Yeah.
Well, they did.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we are going to go to our representatives in the state and ask for their help to try to change it around.
Did they give a reason for rejecting
No.
it? I had no
My
idea.
question.
They did not?
It was rejected back in the fall.
Was it really?
Mhm.
Okay,
For no
so,
reason.
but they didn't give a reason for doing so, huh?
That's what Peter said.
Who rejected it? The state?
DOT.
The
Commissioner of
state.
DOT.
Yep, DOT.
I didn't see the rejection letter to see the exact
No, I
reasons.
asked the police chief for a copy of it. He said it was very brief and no detail in it, but I'll get that
Hmm.
to Eric and to the representatives.
Okay,
They both expressed an interest in helping, and I'm really gonna push as hard.
good. Yeah. Yeah, that's been long overdue. But it's been it's a tough issue to overcome, really.
Right. and
You know, with
we-
that stretch for, was it a mile, a little over a mile from
Mile
one
and a
end to the other?
Yeah.
I guess we missed an opportunity to narrow the road. We could have put in bumpers at the intersections, but I think that should have sailed into the sidewalk project. So no, we've got to just push back and get it to do this again.
You know, years ago, when I was mayor, we tried to take over the highway, the road itself.
The DOT would give it to us, but the cost.
And,
$1
but come to
million
find
a
out,
mile.
we didn't have the equipment to handle it anyway.
It's just the cost of maintenance. You know, they sand, they salt it, they plow it, they patch it,
Yeah,
you know. They keep
sometimes,
the signs up there.
yeah.
So the cost was exorbitant for the village to take over.
Yep,
Mhm.
it's a shame though, really.
I said to the commissioner through email, if you guys go and do a real good job of repaving the whole road, we'll talk about it.
Yep,
And that was just, trying to get them to repave the whole road.
yep, yep, yeah.
Just one other small thing, our chief, Dworkin, has been elected president of the countywide association of police chiefs. It's the installation dinner on the 26th of this month that I'll be going to.
Okay, good,
And present some sort of a proclamation.
great,
Yes.
yeah. That's good representation, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Jonathan is gone. You saw his reports, right?
Yep.
Lois. Hi, Lois.
Hi, how are you? I completed the bank reconciliation through December of 2025, haven't got to January yet. They seem to be coming in later and later in the month. So therefore, it would take me about, it takes me, they only come in like on the 10th anymore, not at the end of, you know, at the beginning of the month, sorry. So I'll start working on them, but, transfer station invoicing and receipts are posted. I sent out statements, because there were some, you know, a lot of small past due invoices, and people have seemed to be responding to the statements, so that's good, they're coming in
Do-
and paying their bills.
Do we have any real big outstanding ones?
Not big, but I would say $300 or $400 that, few of our residents have owed for many years. And
Many years?
Yep, I send them statements, some of them come back as undeliverable, and I'm gonna talk to, as soon as I can, probably next month, because I have so much going on this month, about how, and Chrissy might even know the answer to this, how can we collect that money?
Are they still using it?
No, nope,
Okay,
no, they can't. Jim, I give Jim a list.
okay,
We call it the naughty list, and he doesn't like
Okay.
it. So,
good.
so yeah. So like I said, once I get this annual financial return done, I'm gonna talk to McKenna, see if, how can we collect these through the corp or something. I
Yep.
don't know. I
Got
don't know
it.
if she knows, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's just my next step is, just to collect.
And these people are still around?
I don't think so. Some of them statements come back, some are undeliverable.
Okay,
So I don't even know how to contact these.
Okay.
And it's not a ton of money, not a couple $1,000s. It is money, but it's
Right.
not, they just went to the dump and left
And
and
left.
never paid.
yep,
Could be
So,
deceased.
Yeah.
probably.
It's just, it's annoying.
Yep.
The monthly revenue from the court and the building department and the town clerk's office have all been received for January. I continued Mike's, Murphy's, I put in the court revenue statements in here, in the packet. We did catch up on the village portion of the fines. Something happened, a glitch in the system with the state level, and that's been corrected.
Yeah.
We've paid them, so that's all settled. So from now on the court report, you will be seeing the village portion of the fines. McKenna helped do that, so that's great. All the payroll tax returns have been submitted. W-2s went out, 1099s went out, reported to the Social Security Administration and the IRS. That was all completed in January. I've been working on the annual financial return. We did not request an extension, and for the newer board members, an annual financial return is just reporting to the state our revenues, our expenses, what our balance sheet is, our checking account amounts. So it's an online process through an online website, and so I've been working on that. That's due by usually February 28th, so it's that following Monday, which is March 2nd. So I will be working heavily on that for the next 2 weeks. The town received from the tax collectors $1,629,000 and change so far in the property, from the property tax levy. I'm gonna attend the Association of Towns meeting in Manhattan this coming Monday and Tuesday for further education.
Good.
I know the other girls we're gonna go to. So,
Good.
and then I attached budget amendments. There's 3. The first is caused by not over expenditure of payroll. It is caused by having to take, like, our payroll date is whatever it was, January 9th or whatever, but some of those days worked were in 2025. I have to figure out the liability amount and put it into a 2025 expense. So I'm doing that using fund balance only because all of those items, instead of going, you know how sometimes I take it from one line item to another?
Yeah,
All the extra monies that weren't expended are gonna roll into fund balance anyway. I'm just making it easier on myself and saying I'm taking it from fund balance, because it's
Okay.
gonna roll in there anyway, if you can
okay,
understand.
sure.
The next one is the highway. They had 2 of their employees join the medical insurance, the health plan. So that the highway went over a little bit in their health insurance coverage, the line item. So I have they have money left in the Social Security township and from there. And then some of the rec programs went a little bit over on their expenditures, but the toddler program brought in quite a bit more revenue, so I'm taking it from the extra income from the toddler program.
Wow.
Great,
So the toddler program is doing good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And that's
yeah, very good.
It's good, Lois. So you need a,
You need
a
a, well, I'll make a motion for the budget amendments.
second to that?
I'll second.
All in favor?
And
Aye.
that's final for 2025.
Yep.
Nice, Lois.
Yeah.
Have fun at the school.
Yeah.
You too, Chrissy. Okay, Lisa.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so we've got lots of exemptions coming in right now, renewals and new applications. So Kathy's been busy with that, and then I obviously have questions that come throughout that process. Sales We didn't have any in the month of December for the village, and we had, I'm sorry, outside, and then we had, oh, actually, I think that's, might be actually flipped around, sorry about that. I believe it's 5 outside and then 0 in the village, sorry about that. Right, and then, first reviews in the office, January, site parcel reappraisal 17, sales review 3, data collection 11 parcels and 13 sites. Assessor clerk is continuing to work on project to make a file for any parcel that doesn't already have one. Some of them have had to be redone. She's doing this as she has time, which is really great because we've been wanting to get that done for many years. And yeah, but the exemptions is our priority right now, so that's just kind of filler as she has time when people aren't coming in. We had 6 SCAR hearings, or I did last month. They were actually at the court, so we've been doing virtual, but they switched us to the court because they have a new referee they just appointed. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still waiting. I've heard on one of the cases so far, and the others I'm still waiting on his ruling on those. And we did settle a few too, so that's good. And then, you know, I'm obviously working on a roll, but also trying to do some cleanup as I'm going along with like neighborhood codes, because that's going to be important at some point in the revale. So just being conscious of that because there's a lot of inconsistency. So yeah, so that's me. Unless there's any other questions.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Good report.
Okay.
Tony's not here. Chrissy?
Okay, so the clerk's office, we're heavy into tax collection. The January taxes have been reconciled. We collected $1.4 million via mail and walk-ins and $213,000 on online tax payments for a total of $1.6 million. And we are continuing tax collection through the end of February without penalty. Collection continues through June 1st, however, that is with penalty, and with each month, the penalty goes up. For the month of January, the town clerk's office generated $2,304. And we are off Monday, President's Day, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So we are, the girls in the clerk's office and Lois, we're going to the city for training. We are gonna stay Tuesday. The building will be open, but the clerk's office will be closed.
Okay.
We will be back Wednesday, open for business. That's been posted on the website and our social medias, and we will put a sign on the door. And I'm not sure if everyone knows Earl No Longer Cleans for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we right now have a cleaning company cleaning for us, not with a contract. So I finally got an estimate from them and an estimate from well, they're both local companies. So I don't know, I can give these each estimate. I have from 2 companies, if you guys want to take a look at them tonight, and then, sorry, I did end up having it.
Did you kind of sort out the 2 of them?
Yeah,
Which
so
one?
Christian's
Oh,
one
wait,
is
oh,
much, there
these are-
too.
these
Christian's
two.
cleaning is much cheaper.
It is?
Yeah, and I spoke to Dana, and she was super sweet. She said she gave us the best discount she could, and it was still pretty high.
So based on what you have, do you have a recommendation or?
Christian's cleaning.
Okay.
Are their services any different?
They do the exact same thing.
Oh, so.
And you've been using Christians to this point after, I know Earl,
To
but,
this point,
yeah.
not on contract, so he isn't coming every week, so he is coming this Saturday. So I said I'd speak to the board tonight, and,
So it's gonna be every other week?
yes, he'll do, 2, what did he say he was gonna do?
It's an $80 difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weekly rotation, so it would be the bathrooms, floors, kitchen, trash removal, 1 week for $156. And then the opposite week, full building cleaning for $195, dusting, bathroom floors, and trash removal again. And then, we'll be able to do a maybe every 6 month detail cleaning.
I don't think you did it.
So are
Yeah,
they
it's
asking you
12.
to sign a
It's at the bottom of the
contract?
front
Yeah.
page.
Are they asking for a contract now, or is that the
No,
idea?
I'm just bringing.
You could just do it monthly, or
We could do it monthly,
do the way
the way we're doing it.
you just continue to.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're not asking, so I have no problem with this,
Okay.
Christian.
The only thing he would, Kristen would like is if we do terminate our services, just give him 30 days. We don't need
course.
a con.
Yeah.
We're happy to do that.
Yep,
So you want me to continue what we're doing?
sure,
Yeah.
And it's
it's fine with me.
good prices for Lois.
Mhm.
Okay.
So now, like, in this kind of weather, when all they're tracking in all the
Yes.
salts, do they come to take care of that during the week, or,
Well, we've been doing it.
I know
And
that,
not a very good job of it, as you can tell, because the salt that's being used is supersonic salt. I had them come in, after the storm, they sent 2 people in to clean the lobby, but other than that, I haven't had them come in just to clean the lobby.
So if you need them to do specialized things like that, is the price higher without a contract, or is it?
No.
They don't, nothing to, I don't know who they are, so.
No, so say if, you know, I want him to come this weekend and I say just completely do downstairs, it'll still be the same price. I would just have to be specific about what I wanted him to do.
Okay, and on demand, they can do pretty much whatever,
He,
so.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
he said 2 people right over, because it was bad.
yeah, it really needs to be,
Yeah,
Touched
I mean,
up,
we were
you know.
out twice today,
Yeah.
delivering it,
Yeah.
and it still looks.
how did
I
we
think
ever,
everyone with
And it was a
public
Paris difference.
facing, I mean, every store in town is like that. It's just the salt
Yeah.
on the streets this time of year.
But then I'm also thinking we might need a rug, some,
Runner.
yeah, different rug, 'cause, it's really bad.
where,
When you walk in, I don't know if we could get someone to clean it.
in your office?
In our office, yeah.
Oh,
And the
yeah, our
runner,
office is really bad.
yeah, it's bad.
See if they'll
From-
do it.
From the salt, or from
No,
soiled, from stains?
Well,
Or age.
Years of age,
All the
it's never
above.
been carpet cleaned.
Did you ever check how much one is? And they're not, they shouldn't be super expensive, to be honest.
well, we just redid the carpet in
Yeah,
here about
yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we
Yours
did the
is
squares. I think that was the cheaper option.
It's nice.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
So, maybe next year.
I think with
Squares
squares
next
is
year.
if it stains, if one gets stained, you don't even have.
Exactly.
Right.
Right,
Exactly.
and we have some replacements in the basement,
Right.
Mhm.
Do you have enough to make a new one?
so,
Okay,
okay, so that's good with the cleaning. So
Yep.
I think that's all I have, if anyone has any questions.
okay, thank you.
Me.
It's easy.
Joseph,
Okay, so the ZBA meeting was held on January 20th. The minutes for the December 16th were approved. There were 2 items on the agenda. 452 Hibernia Road, applicant was seeking variances for a front porch addition. Public hearing was opened and closed without comments from the public. Special use permit and a 13.9-foot setback variance was granted. The ongoing Yadgard swimming pool application was appealed once again by the Cornells. This appeal was due to the building permit granted by the building inspector. The Cornells are citing the lack of screening and the pool equipment being placed in the shed. They are asking if the code is being interpreted correctly. Public hearing is scheduled for February 17th. ZBA board is also requesting that the Cornells be required to pay escrow considering it is their appeal. For Oak Summit, Collier submitted final design report to the DOT. DOT came back with comments. Collier's addressed comments and resent report to DOT. As of this morning, the DOT issued an authorization to proceed with detailed design and right-of-way acquisition. Killern Road, I signed joint application form requesting a wetlands permit from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer and New York State DEC. This is now in review with hopes of a permit being granted in due course.
oh, we're moving along finally.
Moving right along?
Wow, that's good news. Good, thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Deidre, you have something?
I do. So earlier in January, I went and met with Danielle as liaison to the rec commission, and she and I just met and talked about ways that, the town board can enhance recreation and support recreation fully. I think we had a really good conversation. We talked about the senior center and the reimagine the town pool, and looking forward to getting that report and seeing what that looks like. I did attend the rec commission meeting last night. It was a really good group. They talked about some grant opportunities that the county is offering for some youth programming, and Danielle is going to attend a meeting for it, and she is also looking at different ideas for programming. And the committee, Danielle had some really good ideas, and the committee had some ideas, so I think everyone kind of took their homework, and the committee's going to get back with Danielle and have more discussion on what that looks like. Danielle touched on her report, but I just want to highlight it because I think it's an important thing that the board we should talk about further, and whether we want to do anything about it. But the toddler program, the registration was open for 2 days. It filled immediately with an 8-person waiting list. So it's clearly a popular program. Last night in the rec commission, it was discussed whether that program could be expanded. And Danielle, based on the space limitations, it's at Lyle Church. For anyone who doesn't know, it's at the community area at Lyle Church. Would you call it the community area at Lyle Church? It's the annex. There's no more physical space to house that program. So I just think maybe as a town board we want to talk about, in the future, obviously not tonight, if that's something, if that's a business we want to get into, and if it is, and if it's serving the residents as positively as a 2-day turnaround with a waiting list, is there opportunity to expand the program and look for other space to make that program more of a success, or other avenues that the town board could go down to look at that? It's currently 2 hours a day. Danielle, can you just give us a
2 hours
brief
and 45 minutes.
highlight?
And I spoke to the secretary at Lyle, and she says there is a possibility of another space in the building.
Oh, great.
So how many toddlers do they have?
It depends on how many days they want. They can have 5 days, or they can have 2 days, 3 days.
No, but you have a waiting list, so how many do you have on?
There's an 8 people on the waiting list.
But you have a
No,
census of
between-
10, right? 10 kids at a time you can have right now?
Yeah.
8 at a time, with 2 teachers.
So it's 8 kids and 8 on the waiting
It's a
list.
4-on-1 ratio.
And they
two
run it, I think that might even be state prescribed.
Yeah.
So they run it only once a day, or do they run it twice a day?
No, we don't go once a day. Our minimum is twice a day.
So,
So some of the people on the waiting list wanted 5 days,
right,
so they're on the waiting list for 2 days, for example.
okay.
And then there's some that didn't get it at all, so there's some 2-dayers and 3-dayers on there.
So, forgive my asking these stupid questions, but how many sessions a day do you run?
Just one.
Just one?
If we did an afternoon one, that's their nap time.
So, well,
toddlers-
depending on the kid, yeah. But, so theoretically, instead of adding more space, or you could just run 2 different sessions, couldn't you, or is that not possible? I'm just curious,
2
I don't
different
know.
sessions by what?
A morning and afternoon.
Like a morning and afternoon session?
We've tried it in
It
the
didn't work?
past, and it really is most kids' nap time.
Okay.
I mean, I know in the city, I'm sure that they figure things out, because if that's the only thing available.
It just seemed easier than trying to find more space, but okay.
They do use that space also after us for
Okay.
meeting, so in the space where we are.
Okay.
So again, I don't want to we don't have to have this discussion tonight, but I think it's something we should put on the agenda to have the discussion. And especially if we can, if Danielle's having conversations to see if there's more space available, what that looks like.
Right.
When you say getting into the business of, which is different than running it as sort of a courtesy for the town, the populace of the town, what do you mean just expanding it, or you mean actually in the business?
Well, I don't think that, we do charge. The people pay to attend. It's not a free program.
Okay.
It's not inexpensive. It's discounted, but it's comparable to other programs. Well, there's not really any other
Well,
programs.
It's basically a
People call up
daycare
and say,
program, but it's for 2 sessions, right? Is that what it is? It's like a daycare program for 8 kids for whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I don't have any kids, so I'm trying to find out.
Right. So it might be room to A, provide a need in the community,
Yeah.
and B, enhance the rec program. So
Mhm.
it's just a discussion I think we should,
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
we're
We just
good
need
with
to
that.
find a space.
yes,
Yeah,
right.
right.
I've met with Lisa a couple times briefly to talk about the reeval, and I know that's on our agenda for later, so we can highlight that later.
Yeah,
Based on our meeting last month that we talked about the CSC having such poor census on the board, I did meet with Mike Herzog, who runs the village CSC, just to see if there was any room for enhancing their program. And it really, there's ways that the village and the town can work together, and I'll certainly share that with Maxine. I know she's the liaison, but there's really no avenue for combining or
He's not
sharing.
interested. Let's just call it what it is. He's not interested.
So we could talk about, there's ways that we could partner with some emergency preparedness
Yeah.
and some water things, but they're going to be standalone committees for now. And that's really all I think I have at this point.
okay, good, yeah, thanks. Thank you. Maxine, did you have anything?
I did not attend the CAC, but I did watch the videos. Susan sort of was going anyway, so I asked her to pay attention. But they did have an interesting meeting. They went through their agenda, which is normal.
What is this?
CIC.
Oh, CAC, okay.
Right. And I have nothing on the court and nothing on the CIC,
Okay.
CSC, just to be clear.
Okay,
But, so they didn't meet in January. They postponed that meeting. They canceled it, actually. They did meet this week on February 4th. At their meeting, the most interesting thing to start with was that they had speakers, and it's called Mothers Out Front Dutchess County, because it got garbled on the video a little bit. And that's what it says on the agenda.
Yeah.
But their idea is to be more, let's just call it more green, and their focus right now is on the incinerator in Poughkeepsie and the use of that. Which, if you boil down to the conversation and the amount of pollution that comes out of that, it makes sense. But one of the questions that the CAC asked is, we don't even know if we're using that particular incinerator or not. And so they have a little bit more legwork they have to do to consider it. There were some interesting things that came out of it, and it's about recycling systems. They are hiring a consultant about it, and so I'm sure we'll hear back from them. Just if we are using that incinerator, the fact that it's 36 years old probably indicates something needs to be done anyway, and how they deal with it. It's to come up with some sort of a sustainable approach. And when, I'm not sure if it was Pam or who asked the question, what was the role they wanted for the CAC, mostly to get people to speak up and say that, share best practices. So even if we're not using the incinerator, share if we have good practices that are really good, share them with other towns to see if we can improve it. Because the whole point is to improve the environment overall, reduce items that get into the waste stream. That was the big focus of it. There also is talk that it creates some job potential, although that was a little softer. But again, the committee's going to go back and do a little more research on that particular thing. I think Pam Scott reported to the planning board, so I'm not going to go there. The planning board reports to you, so I'm not going to talk about that. On the grant applications, and there is the resume from Tim Lynch, which apparently did not get circulated correctly because of email addresses, that they're asking to have him join the CAC, and so you should be hearing from them. Let's see, anything else that I missed? They did do their normal agenda. Pam's report, no items from town meetings, and they took their oath of office. They talked about their membership, which their membership apparently after they go from once they've served 2 years, they go to an annual renewal. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Anything else I missed?
Sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
Good report, thank you.
Well, never mind. I'll ask this later.
What?
No,
No.
it's not for the board.
Okay. Susan?
Okay, so the planning board did not meet, so there's nothing really to report there. I met with Lisa Agnelli, who is the planning and zoning board secretary, just
Yep.
get a better picture of what's going on.
Yep.
And according to her, right now, it's very quiet. And there is really nothing in the pipeline right
Yeah,
now.
that's
Little
something. Wow.
inquiries, but nothing of any significance. The building department, I also met with John a couple of times, and just to get a feel for what he does in his multiple roles, and how, and his, right now, he's kind of slow too, you know, I mean, so I think you could see it from his report. So that's really it.
Yeah,
Okay.
good. Well, thanks, Susan. Appreciate that.
And there's nothing wrong with saying there's nothing to report.
That's right.
Because if the
I know, I
planning
feel like,
Susan, if the
No.
planning board didn't meet,
I didn't do my
you have
homework,
nothing to
you know?
tell us.
That's right.
So-
Okay. That takes care of the main part of it. Is it either Seal, you or Tim have anything? No? Eric, anything else?
Just a quick question, is there any way we can help you with the ice dams?
With the what?
The ice dams on the roof, any information we can provide to deal with that? It's a
Boy.
nightmare.
I don't know.
Everybody's complaining about
People are or not.
it, having a bad leak.
You know, the fire department, they spent all their money on that roof, and
Yeah, they were talking about last night.
what a mess it's made down there.
In other places in New York,
It's under warranties.
people say their house
Yeah.
is on fire, you know, they're trying to melt it with below.
Oh,
floor.
geez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, Eric.
Well, it's gonna be above freezing.
It is.
right, so-
Yeah, hopefully
40s
this
next
week.
For next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's mud season or whatever, so many.
Well, maybe next week, you know, it's gonna moderate a little
Yeah.
bit. Maybe it'll help to some degree, but.
We'll be in shorts next week.
That's what I said, shorts and t-shirts.
Huh?
Shorts and t-shirts next
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
at 40s.
there you go. All right, well, we have some issues we need to deal with in executive session, so I want to thank you for coming, and you all have a good evening.
So I think we're gonna make a motion to it, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, in a
yeah.